Oh, hey there, it's me again. It's been a while since you've been around, so why don't you grab a seat and we'll get caught up. Our first spring in Nova Scotia was not what we expected, but it turns out it wasn't what anyone expected. Nova Scotia experienced the driest spring in recorded history, and even though our family found a few creative ways to beat the heat, not everyone was so fortunate. Climate change led to an extremely dry spring, which then led to an extremely active wildfire season, and Nova Scotia experienced the largest wildfire in its history, as well as a series of other destructive wildfires. Hundreds of people lost homes and businesses, and thousands of people were displaced by the fire, but thanks to the Nova Scotia Emergency Services, no one lost their life. Unfortunately, a couple of months later, 4 lives were tragically lost when a summer's worth of rain fell across Nova Scotia in one evening. The floods damaged homes and destroyed highways and crops. It's a strong argument for climate change action. Even with all the calamity, we still have our responsibilities. We have our friends we need to watch out for, never-ending upkeep on the home, and of course barn chores, plus a whole list of other responsibilities and duties and stuff we gotta get done on a daily basis. But that's enough lamenting. I know why most of you are here. Well, you're here for an update on Super Baby, of course. Here's some footage of Kenan showing his physiotherapist how to operate a new piece of equipment. He's also preparing for a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu match next month. Nutrition is a big part of his training, so he decided to try solid food for the first time. Decided to go with pears. He's a big fan. Look at this kid go. He eats just like his dad. There sure has been a lot going on. Oh yeah, we got the boat running.
Okay, turn it on.
I suppose I should also mention that me and Courtney finally tied the knot. We celebrated in Mahone Bay with our friends and family. A few people couldn't make it, however, including my dad, who sadly would pass away just a couple of weeks later. Bobby Jameson was my dad. He was also an athlete, a newsman, and a bit of a blade. Everyone that knew him adored my father. He traveled the world with the stars, and now he's among them. I'm proud of my father, and every time I look at Kenan, I catch a glimpse of my dad. It's comforting to know that there's a piece of my dad in there, helping make Kenan who he is. It's nice to know that there will always be a little piece of my dad around. If you're a little teary-eyed, it's probably just these onions that we've got curing up in the barn. We didn't get a whole lot of vegetables grown, but what we did get will help, and we learned a lot about what not to do for next year. Next up, we had a project that's been looming since we moved here, something that I've really wanted to get to for the past year. Finally, I could get started on the new paddock for the horses. The new paddock really just consists of some fencing and a few gates to help keep the horses in. Doesn't sound like much, but it's a lot of work. This marks the anniversary of our first year here, and I've got a lot on my mind. A project like this is just what I need right now, a little time with my thoughts. But around here, if you want to keep a solo project, you have to do it discreetly. The people of Lunenburg County will render assistance, especially if you didn't ask for it. I kept as quiet as I could, put my head down, and worked hard to get it done as best as I could, doing it by myself. Even if selfishly, building a fence was a little cathartic, I was doing this for the benefit of the horses, and of course for the neighbors. Appropriate exercise space for them was past due, and it will really free up my hand now that I have appropriate turnout for everybody. The placement of the gates and the shape of the paddock might look a little funny, but trust me, there's a method to my madness. You'll just have to stick around to see what I have planned for the future. After mitigating some hazards and applying some finishing touches, it was time to turn the gang loose. It took them a second to figure out what was going on, but it wasn't too long before they were stretching their legs. You're probably wondering what I've done with Larry and all of this. Well, don't worry, I've built him his own area. A Laria, if you will. Stick around and I'll have some of that in the next video. Fall is coming and it's already time to shift gears into another season. So from all of us here in the county, thanks for watching and we'll see you again next time.
Hehehehe